Mr. Mayor, we live.
All right, thank you for that, Mark. So today is March 1st, 2023. The time is 5:06 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council special meeting. City Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Estrada.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia.
And at this moment, I am going to make a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Garcia and Councilmember Damian. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? If not, go ahead and continue, City Clerk.
Councilmember Avila.
Here.
Councilmember Ayala.
Here.
All right, thank you for that. And so at this moment, I will move to public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody that is looking to speak?
Mr. Mayor, at this time, we have not received a request for comment.
Great. If there's anybody looking to speak that didn't fill out a speaker card, now is your time.
I want to, I'm department, and we have a council to stir a lot of trouble. Now, here plays her favoritism with police officers that are on leave shouting because they didn't get their promotion. That's the test. Officers in the same way. On here, people on leave, all the trouble on Instagram and everything else, and she voted them in with Lozano back in the day. Also read a letter illegally during a council meeting, caused a lot of rift. And all this thing is to hire a Latino, We got McLean up, Lopez. Now they want to destroy it. Where does it stop? Cancer. 5 police officers are cancer. You guys need to step up to the plate, fire them, and get it over with. Dragging this on is not going to stop. Oh, they can probably hear me anyway. Is not going to stop this. You need to put a stop to it now. Just like I told you about Tafoya, you let it string on till a newspaper article comes out. Well, when the RICO Act comes out, there's going to be a lot more exposed. You got Rose Tam that I keep telling you about. That's going to be out there. You got Lourdes that's out there. You got Lozano that's on the RICO Act. So let me tell you something. She's cancer. She's got no pull. She's only one council person. She's a lame duck. For 4 years, you're going to sit there and get nothing done, ma'am. So what I'm telling you now is quit stirring the stuff in the police department, and you voted the guy in, and you better live with it. And these officers that you're sitting there doing all the buddy deals and they're driving you around town back in the old days, that's going to be over with. So you better understand, we're going to be watching you very closely on everything that you're doing, because this is not right what you're doing to the police department and stirring the trouble. They're trying to get it straight, and you're trying to stir it up. So we want these police officers gone. You need to get the lawyer involved and find out how to relieve them of duty and get them out of here. Start with other police officers, because you're going to lose good police officers because of these bad ones, and she's going to keep stirring the trouble. And I'm going to keep after you at every council meeting, just like with Ron Garcia with his corruptness too. Because you people don't understand unless you're brought out and exposed, just like Ricardo Pacheco. I swore I was going to do that, and I kept after it. And where's he going? Federal penitentiary. So just remember that. Thank you very much.
Is there anybody else looking to speak? Not at this moment, I will move to close public communication. And we do have a open session study session, and it is a presentation presented by Sam Gutierrez, our Director of Public Works, and Romani, our Engineering Manager.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. We have a brief presentation prepared for you regarding roundabouts, what they are, what they do, why they are safe, and why they are being used quite a bit now these days in adjacent cities and all over the world, quite frankly. And so I want to invite Wes Rudiman and Romani Basilius to come up and talk to you about the presentation and this exciting grant to do a demonstration project.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff, and members of the audience. Today we're going to talk about roundabouts. Next slide. So today I broke down this presentation into 7 key points. First is the information and rules. We're going to talk about roundabouts. Second is the benefits of roundabout. We're going to talk about safety, financial, saving time, and environmental. Also going to talk about local examples, grant, and the location selection, and demonstration project, and finally questions. Next slide, we're going to show you a video. In this video, actually, it's gonna present to you a roundabout. In the video, there is 2 lanes in the presentation, but our roundabout is only gonna be 1 single lane. You can play the video.
If you travel around the United States, there's a good chance you've gone through a modern roundabout recently. They're saving lives on our nation's roads because they reduce severe crashes at intersections by an average of 80%. But do you know the rules of the roundabout? The rules are pretty simple and easy to remember. Slow down, look around, and be ready to yield. When you approach a roundabout, slow down. Going slower gives you more time to make decisions, and you'll be ready to yield to other road users. Next, look around. If there's more than 1 lane leading to the roundabout, you'll need to choose the proper lane for where you want to go after the roundabout. Take note of the signs and markings to help you select your lane. Like most other intersections, use the left lane to go left, the right lane to go right, and either lane to go straight through, unless otherwise indicated. Keep looking around and check the crosswalks to see if anyone is waiting to cross or is already crossing. Be ready to stop and let them safely finish. When the crosswalk is clear, look around for traffic already in the roundabout. Then, be ready to yield. You must yield to traffic in all lanes of the roundabout, not just the lane closest to you. Remember, yielding means letting others go first and stopping when necessary. Enter when there's a comfortable gap. Remember to go slow and stay in your lane. Don't turn left from the right lane, and don't turn right from the left lane. If you see any large vehicles like trucks or buses, give them space and avoid driving next to them inside the roundabout. As you leave the roundabout, follow the pavement markings to stay in the correct lane. Look around one more time for anyone in the crosswalk and be ready to yield to them as you exit. That's it. So next time you're at a roundabout, make sure to follow these simple rules. Slow down, look around, be ready to yield.
Next slide. Actually, for the next few slides, I would like to invite Wesley to the podium.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Wes Rudeman. I'm a Special Programs Director with Active San Gabriel Valley, and happy to join you today to talk about this proven safety countermeasure per the U.S. Federal Highway Administration. So the diagram before you right here, you see on the right, it would be a standard intersection, either signalized or non-signalized. And all those points in the middle are potential conflict points where you could have a collision, 2 vehicles. There's a lot going on in a 4-way intersection. Folks are turning left, right, going straight. A lot of different movements happening. And as a result, there are just a lot more opportunities for people to miss something that's happening and to collide with another vehicle. On the roundabout on the left, there are far fewer opportunities for vehicles to come into direct conflict. This is especially the case, very difficult to have a head-on collision, for example, in a roundabout. When there are collisions, they tend to be side swipes. And the other thing is you have to physically slow down your vehicle to navigate a roundabout. There's no running a red light at the last minute or speeding up at a yellow light. So when there are collisions, they tend to be slower speed and less severe. So that is one of the primary benefits, really, is reducing those conflict points, as well as just lowering speeds and overall traffic calming and safety. We can advance this slide. Not sure if I know how to here. Thank you. So as the video also shared, there's a 78% or up to 80% reduction in severe crashes compared to a signalized intersection. And you see the benefits are also very high for a two-way stop controlled. It's actually even higher. So up to 82% reduction in severe crashes. And again, one of the reasons why is folks can run stop signs if they really, decide to drive recklessly. You cannot drive in that manner through a roundabout without destroying your own vehicle. So that would probably be the number one benefit. I'll talk about a few of the other benefits right now for modern roundabouts. If you could advance the slide, please. So some of the other benefits is one is time savings. With a traditional traffic light, you have to wait for the light to turn, regardless if there's much traffic going the other direction. With a modern roundabout, you just have to wait for a space opening in the roundabout, and then you can proceed through. There are financial savings both to the city as well as to individuals. So in the case of a power outage, for example, a signalized traffic light is not going to function. Roundabout will work 24/7 with or without power. If you lose power, you may have to employ PD to help direct traffic. And then another benefit is since there are no traffic signals, there's no maintenance, or there's very little maintenance, and there's no electric bill at the end of the year. And then there are fuel savings for drivers since you're not idling your car waiting for the light to change. Some of the environmental benefits are because you're reducing idling and you're allowing traffic to move more smoothly, there's less pollution and there's less noise. And you also can incorporate landscaping. A roundabout requires physically less space than a four-way traffic or intersection. And as a result, you can utilize some of that space for landscaping, for stormwater capture. For example, now when it's raining so much, you can add trees, native plants, et cetera, into that space, also adding to the beauty of a community. And we can advance to the next slide. I wanted to share a couple local examples. There are not that many in the San Gabriel Valley yet. I'm sure for those who've traveled around California, some parts of the state have far more modern roundabouts. Orange County, San Diego County, for example, Carlsbad, La Jolla, or even up into Ventura County, Santa Barbara County. City of Santa Barbara has quite a few of these. Here are a couple of the local examples, though. If you travel north to the foothills in the city of Azusa, they have several roundabouts, including one with an LA County fire station at it. That's on Sierra Madre Boulevard. So if anyone from the public or staff or council, if you want to drive through one of these yourself, if you haven't yet, that's one to go check out. And we can advance the slide, please. This is the larger modern roundabout in Azusa that includes the LA County Fire Station. So public safety vehicles are also able to navigate this type of roadway design safely and easily. And this is a perfect example. On that northwest corner is the LA County Fire Station. Next slide, please. A couple other local examples. So the city of El Monte is looking at several intersections for roundabouts. One is a 5-point intersection called Little Five. Locally, it's called Little 5 Points. City of El Monte, they already have full funding and will be installing that roundabout. This is another one that is actually being under consideration right now, and that's at Rush Street and Merced Avenue. Next slide, please. And this example here is from the city of Pasadena. It is a planned but not yet funded neighborhood roundabout, so a smaller scale one where 2 residential streets. This is on Hill Street and Elizabeth Street, and their city is currently planning 2 roundabouts for this intersection. They also have another one that was just recently funded and should be going into construction later this year on Avenue 64. And you can advance the slide, please. slide stuck, or can someone advance it, please?
David?
There we go. Perfect. So the opportunity before you today is to participate in the Metro Open and Slow Streets program. The city was awarded a grant from the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. So the SGV COG submitted the proposal in partnership with Active San Gabriel Valley to Metro Los Angeles. And then after the $500,000 award was made, the COG opened it up to cities across the San Gabriel Valley to submit requests to do demonstration projects. 5 cities were awarded funding under that project, or so far. The cities of South Pass, Glendora, El Monte, Montebello, and Baldwin Park. And so the question today is, the grant funding has to be utilized by the end of this year. So demonstration projects realistically have to go in by this summer to allow enough time for them to be evaluated. So for example, for the public to be surveyed and public input to be received and then summarized and reported back both to Metro as well as to the SGV COG. And again, this would be a temporary demonstration style project as all the other cities are doing. And so it would be up for example, 1 to 3 months, and that would allow the community opportunity to experience life with a roundabout in town and then provide feedback insofar as the design, if it's something they'd like to see more permanent or perhaps continuing with the current configuration of the intersection. And we can advance the slide, please. And I'll turn it back to staff to talk about this specific location. Thank you.
So after we have seen the video and we understood the basic of roundabouts, we discussed the benefits about roundabouts, and we have seen local examples and understood the grant. Let's talk about the location we selected here to test this roundabout. So in 2018, actually, at Olive and Main, we did a full design of a roundabout to be constructed. However, prior to authorization to bid, staff got directed to eliminate the roundabout, and we got direction, and instead of to build a roundabout, to build a traditional traffic signal. So we went and completed a design for a regular traffic signal, and we're actually ready to bid in 2 months. And in the meantime, we would like to go ahead and use that location to demonstrate a roundabout. So we use the grant and to make a demonstration at that location. We would like to invite the mayors, the council members, city staff, and the public once we got directions to that day. And that's it. That completes our presentation for today. And if you have any questions.
Any questions from council or staff?
I have a question. Thank you for the presentation. I do have a question on the temporary demonstration. Exactly what will you go out and do? I saw a man in the picture laying out the painting, the stripes for the street. What exactly will you do on a temporary demonstration?
So we're gonna remove the existing striping. We're gonna close the street, and we remove the existing striping and restripe the street to fit a roundabout.
So you're gonna restripe it to make it look like it's a roundabout there. So they're gonna start using it as a roundabout.
Exactly.
Location, was that one of the locations? Was there was a lot of traffic problems? People crossing the street? How will that work?
Right. So we don't have that data, but that location at one time was selected to have a full-blown constructed roundabout. So there was design plans ready to go. However, as Romani mentioned, prior to authorization to bid the project, staff got direction to say, let's do without the roundabout and let's bring about a traditional signalized intersection. And that's what staff has done. So the intersection it was selected prior in a study to be the ideal location for a roundabout, and that's why we want to do the demonstration project there. We think it makes sense. It's already been designed, and now we're just sort of just doing a demonstration project for it.
I remember when the roundabouts were being discussed. Now, I don't remember if that particular, is that where across the street?
Yeah, so it was part of the Main Avenue Complete Streets project. This is a project that did that on the corners, the bulb outs around the corners. It brought a lot of the stormwater capture, rain gardens. We eliminated one lane. We went from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, which is 1 lane in each direction, and a center turning movement lane. So it was part of that project from Los Angeles all the way down to Arrow. However, when we were directed to eliminate the roundabout, we skipped that portion. So the portion of Olive and Main and about 100 feet in each direction of that intersection is not developed. There's no improvements. It was omitted. So we want to come back and complete the project. And we are, all intents and purposes, in about 2 months, we are going to go out to bid for the traditional signalized intersection that the council gave us direction to do. We just think that we have a very short window of opportunity to do a demonstration project while the lead time for the signals come in. So we're thinking, depending on council direction, we're thinking about 2 to 3 months, but it could be a lot shorter than that.
Would the amount of the grant cover, let's say we were to decide to do the roundabout, would the grant amount cover the whole job there, or would we have to put money in?
Right, so for the demonstration project, it's the grant amount plus a little bit of a local match, but it won't cover a traditional roundabout. It'll just cover the cost of the demonstration project. And for matching funds, we are bringing in transportation funding and not the general fund.
Transportation.
Correct.
Okay. And I've been through routes in Mexico and in Europe, different cities, but it always concerns me when people cross the street, because I know as drivers we're supposed to be cordial and yield and what have you. I know you represented that it was safe, but how safe really is it? It's just concerning because everybody's just going to be driving around, going through.
So as Wes was pointing out, roundabouts require less space than a traditional roundabout, so you can narrow the street. And a lot of cities, what they do is they incorporate landscaping or other features. But by narrowing the street at the roundabout, you create a very shorter space or a much shorter space for pedestrians to get from one side to the other side. So in a traditional signalized intersection, you wait till the light goes and you traverse from one corner to the other corner. In a roundabout, it is that walk is much narrower and safer to cross. So that's one of the benefits and safety features of them. I think we do. I can follow up after this meeting and send a email to the city council with that information.
So they're only granting money for a demonstration. There's not going to be grants to actually build one if the.
Correct. We have no well, we do have funding available, but that funding is now allocated for the traditional intersection.
Like.
So this grant only funds the demonstration portion. We don't have, it is not our intention to build a permanent roundabout.
It's just to get an idea how it would work.
Right. And so the idea is, if you remember the open street events where cities closed off streets and opened it up to pedestrians, bicyclists, and so that funding is being repurposed to do projects like this. So there will be one day where the street is closed, and we invite everyone out there and replicate pretty much what the video showed. We'll have vehicles going through there, pedestrians walking, showing the residents and the council how to navigate.
All right, those are my questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
You know, I was going to also point out that I don't know if Wes had it on his slides or if either Sam or Armani mentioned it, but there's a calming effect that roundabouts bring to traffic speeds and what have you. Arizona has quite a number of them. If you you would agree, yes, and you know, because we have tried different methods of slowing down the speed in streets by putting in a landscape island, for example, Pacific being one of them. If it's not knocked over every 3 months or so, Sam, you have new reflectors. I think those are going to work, but there's a calming effect that comes with, and not to mention the opportunity for art or landscaping that can go in the middle island as you it's anyway. I think they also bring beauty to the streetscape as well.
Yeah. Well,
As part of the email, subsequent email that I will send a rendering of the roundabout that we had proposed back in 2018. Just
yeah, that'll be good.
because it had a lot of the features that Enrique's talking about. Very, very nice landscaping.
I think technically we already have a roundabout in Baldwin Park on Vineland, right? But it's so no, not up the street before you get to the bridge to Central. But it's so small that it doesn't really make any
Right. So it doesn't qualify as a roundabout, but I see your point, Mayor.
Yeah, but no, that's an interesting concept. I mean, if it's a 1 to 3 month thing, then it doesn't hurt to see it doesn't hurt to try it out and see what people see how people feel about it. And it's right next to school. It's right next to Holland, so STEM Academy now. So it might be something worth trying. And I agree with Enrique. We know public art is important, and that could be a great place to put some development. I mean, it always feels that the north end doesn't really get too much. So, we're talking about potentially developing or trying to find a way to develop that Olive Square Market parcel. You have a nice roundabout in there. That could become a nice destination, and eventually that's walkable for the the community on the north end side of Baldwin Park.
Really, if it works out.
Yeah.
To see. While looking.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very interesting. We will take a look at that intersection. I know what you're talking about. So
Cool. Okay. Any other comments? No?
well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So at this moment, we are done with our presentation and our open session. So we will move to recess to closed session, and we will see everybody at the regular 7 o'clock meeting.